Good morning, Mr. President Uhuru Kenyatta Sir. My name is Maryann. I have been working in tourism industry all my entire life. I started being employed in tourism industry in 1985. I worked for 7 years until 1992 when I decided to try my own self-employment in tourism industry. I also have trained many people who have also been self-employed in this industry. But now, since you know that in the tourism industry it has been suffering even before the COVID-19 pandemic, we are really suffering. I come to write you this letter because I am not able to reach you. But I'm sure if you are going to see this, you can understand what is happening in our lives. We have tried to market this country as a tourist destination all this time. All my entire life I've been marketing Kenya as a tourist destination. I've tried to go to Germany, the International Tourist Board, trying to use my own resources, and even the World Travel Market in London to market this country. This one we do without any assistance from anyone. Try to convince people in the whole world to visit Kenya as a tourist destination. All this time, I've been in the tourist industry for 36 years, since 1985, and I have not been working in any other industry. So all what I know is the tourism industry and marketing Kenya as a tourist destination. But after all that effort, marketing Kenya using our own resources, now we are suffering because the tourism industry was hit hard even before the pandemic. So we have been working hard to mouth. And now the pandemic has forced us to close the office and come home. I am 58 years old, and life is not easy out here. We are really suffering, thinking again what to do. And this pandemic hit us when we were not prepared. So you had nothing you had put in the store, because as I have spoken there is that the tourism industry has suffered a lot. It has suffered since 2007 up to date. It has been suffering on and off. So we have been, especially the small companies, we have been working hard to mouth, putting nothing in the store, trying to educate our children, trying to survive. So right now we are really hit hard, and it's so difficult to survive. Please, Mr. President, how can you help us? Maybe the big companies, they had something in store, but with the small companies, even my competitors, the small companies, I've spoken to them. They are really suffering silently because we are not able to reach you. We have tried to market this country using the little resources we get, and we have been out there marketing it internationally and locally. President Sir, how can you help us? Because we are really, really suffering. Because we are just at home, we don't know what is next, we don't know what to do. And there is nothing which has reached us. We don't know whether you have any money which you have set aside to help this tourism sector, and if yes, who is helped? Because we are really suffering silently. I've spoken to my colleague, I've spoken to my competitors, and we are just suffering here. We don't know what to do. We don't know what is next. No tourism, no tourists are coming anymore. The local tourists are also not traveling anymore. So, and with the age, starting another thing is becoming a challenge. Also, we don't have any resources. Even if you have a different idea, we do not have resources to start a new thing. So, Mr. President, can you please intervene? Intervene to people who have used their own resources to market this country, to tell people out there that Kenya is still safe, to tell people out there that Kenya is the best tourism destination in the world. We have been selling our country all that wrong. As I said, I've been in tourism industry for 35 years, and now I'm 58 years. So all my entire life, what I know is telling people that Kenya is the best tourist destination. Mr. President, please, can you do something? If you see this video, would you please help us who are suffering silently, who are trying to get to make ends meet, and it's not possible. Like we closed the office 1 year ago when we were hit hard by this pandemic, and even before we were still struggling, but at least we could get something to eat. But now it's not easy. Things are so hard. Things are getting harder and harder and harder. How can you help us, Mr. President? I decided today to talk to you so that you can understand our grievances. You can understand what we are going through. Maybe you don't know, but we are really suffering because we didn't have anything in store. We did not prepare for this pandemic. Okay, every Kenyan did, or in the whole world, yes, no one prepared for it. But it depends. Those people who have been using their own resources, selling this country, we have been in ITB, that is International Tourist Board in Germany, using our own resources, paying our own tickets, paying our own booths there so that we can sell Kenya. World Travel Market in London, where we used to pay a lot of money. So still marketing, hoping that one day, one time, that still this country, the tourism will hit and will do very well. Yes, I remember in our old days, tourism was the best and was number one. And when it started going down, we couldn't let it go down. We still used the rustic coin we had so that we still travel and go and tell people still Kenya is the best tourist destination. So we used every resource we have to market this country, telling people, please come to Kenya. Kenya is the best tourist destination. But now we are suffering. We are really suffering out here, Mr. President. Mr. President, sir, how can you help us? Can you set aside something for people like us, especially the small companies in the tourist industry who have been there telling people Kenya is a good country? Please, Mr. President, I have decided to come plainly in this video that you can understand what people are going through. I've shared with my fellow small tour companies, and they are really suffering. We don't know what to do. We don't know. I myself don't know anything else. Straight from college, I joined the tourism industry, and that is what has been my daily bread. That is what I have been feeding on. But now you can imagine thinking of something else. And if you have an idea, you still don't have the resources because you used all your resources hoping that all will be well. We have been living in hope, hoping that tourism industry will improve until the pandemic hit us hard. Please, Mr. President, sir, if you can understand what I mean, if you can understand, if you can invite me in State House, I can come there and explain what we are going through, because things are not good out here. We don't know what to do. We had the brain. We decided to be self-employed. Like me, I was employed in the private sector, the tourism industry, for only 7 years. But for the other years, which is about 29 years, I have been those people you have been telling to create jobs. I've created jobs I have trained people. I can prove to you that they also created job for other people. So this small brain has fed so many families because I create my own employment and I employ other people and I train them and they started employing themselves and they create jobs to other people. So my small company has fed so many families because of the people have trained, and they have also started their own tour companies. Though they are still small, they have been surviving on those companies. So my companies has children, grandchildren, which has fed so many families. So if you can understand, Mr. President, you can see how much we have followed your step saying that we create jobs. Anybody can create a job, and that is what we did. I created a job, I trained people, and they created jobs, and again them they created jobs, and we have to have grandchildren who have been feeding on these trade. So once we close the offices, you can imagine how many families are suffering. So it's not only my family, it's the family of grandchildren I have trained, and they have they stood on themselves and they became self-employed. So please, Mr. President, I decided to talk to you through media so that you can understand what we are going through. We are not getting any help from anybody anywhere, and we have been trying to work so hard, and we follow your step of creating the jobs, but now we are hit hard and we are not able to create any more. And if we have, we don't have the resources. Please, Mr. President, if you can understand me, please, we'll appreciate. If you can't, please let me come to State House and I'll be able to explain to you what people are going through out here. Thank you so much, Mr. President Sir. You can also subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless you. We love you. Mwah.